Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you back to OOTP 22 with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I made a huge mistake. I was going through my archive of videos the other day, and I was deleting them, and I deleted a video I hadn't posted yet. So there is no longer a record of what happened in the offseason of 2033. Um, So I'm going to very quickly recap what happened to the best of my knowledge, and then we'll get started. And I really do apologize for that. It was not intentional. Um, I remember the thing I'm most angry about was missing out on Manager of the Year because someone took a team from 100 losses to the playoffs, and they were like, that's more impressive. I'm not saying I disagree, but I'm saying I should still have been Manager of the Year because it won over 100 games. But whatever. I'm not bitter. I'm extremely bitter, but I'm not bitter. Um, so let's take a look at our transactions log. So here we go. Probably the most important thing that happened was the Gunnels Extension. Um, as you can see here, we're paying him quite a lot of money. But unlike Cabrian Hayes, he's not fragile yet, and I'm pretty confident he'll be worth the money. Gunnels actually finished second in the MVP voting this year. Fernando Tatis won. And look, if you have a shortstop and a right fielder that are about the same quality during the season, and the difference in WAR is pretty slight, it's going to go to the shortstop. No issues there. So that was one of the biggest news of the offseason, was getting a nice long extension for Gunnels. I got a new assistant GM when Ben Charrington decided to jump ship and play and be the Detroit GM. I'm hopeful that Mr. Joyce here, who is temperamental, will help us with our chemistry issues. I made this deal, which I kind of regret. He had a pretty serious injury, and he came back a lot worse off in terms of control. He's still not very much money, and I can get rid of him next year, but I was hoping for a bit more. We were not active at all in free agency. Oh yeah, we got Rooney Davis as our new hitting coach too, which is pretty spicy. But yeah, the biggest other move. When did I make my trade? We got a couple players in the Rule 5 draft. We acquired Devin Polau, who I intended just to be a reliever, but might actually be a starter someday. And we got Mario Gonzalez. Gonzalez is because I realized we're really shallow in terms of middle infield prospects. So he's just going to be a backup this season. This trade was a pretty minor one, but I really like Salix Brown. And I think he's got a chance to be a second baseman for us when Kazono departs. This was the biggest trade, however. And it looks pretty simple, right? I'm trading a center fielder for a center fielder. So, this is our old pal Caleb Hampton. He never really got a chance to start, what with Gilberto Jimenez, but I liked him a lot, and I think he's still a top quality fourth outfielder. Maybe even an occasional starter. But we had two big weaknesses in the offseason. We didn't have a great leadoff game, and we needed a new center fielder because Jimenez wanted, and you'll have to trust me on this, redonkulous quantities of money to come back to the Pirates. Like, we're talking like $15 million a year. And I'm not spending that much money on a center fielder who gets hurt all the time. So I traded Caleb Hampton for this magnificent sausage known as Vinny Soriano. He has amazing plate discipline. He hits for good enough contact, and he doesn't strike out very much. He's not a perfect player, but he's better than Hampton for what we want, which is a good center fielder who can also be a leadoff guy. Those are my major moves. I did have one question at the end of the last video that I then deleted, so you never saw it. Which was, do you want to see me play more of the elimination games with the downside of videos being much longer, or in all probability making seasons last longer? So I'm not going to have this video because I genuinely want to hear from y'all what you would like to see. But yeah, that was one of the things that I'm really sad that we lost that video for. And before you ask, yes, I emptied the recycle bin. So it's gone forever. And yes, I know there's commercial undelete programs. I don't care that much. I'm sorry. But yeah, so we're opening a brand new season, and one of the other most important moves I made, which didn't change players, I'm betting JJ Goss second. Because I've got Gracia to hit cleanup. I've got Jordan Walker who's got loads of power. My hope is that Goss is high in the lineup will, A, be able to draw scads of walks, and B, even if he hits a bunch of like 2-run homers, I think that's going to be really good for the team too. And it also just makes it even harder for opposing managers who are going to be like, when, say, Theo Gillen is batting in front of Garrett Gunnels, I can throw meatballs to Theo Gillen and it's not likely to hurt me. If I'm scared of Garrett Gunnels, but Goss is in front of him, I have to make a choice. This reminds me a lot of the... Gosh, what year was it? The early 2000s San Francisco Giants that had Barry Bonds and then Jeff Kent in his MVP year, where they had Jeff Kent back cleanup because they figured that people wouldn't want to pitch to Bonds, so they just had Kent clean up. I'm hilarious. I also wanted to acknowledge another thing that someone had mentioned, which is the fact that my DSL Pirates went 0-72. So what we're gonna do is, I think it's under players. No, it's under league and teams. No. Yeah, we're gonna allow ghost players. I don't really care all that much because the DSL, the Dominican Summer League, isn't meant to be like a proper minor league team. It's meant to be a league where... Plus, I have 2 freaking Dominican Summer League team. I really don't know why I have 2. But I'll turn on ghost players just so that there's at least a chance that they can develop and win and all that good stuff. But yeah, so getting back to my point, I think Rich Aurelia bats second on that Giants roster. I was a much bigger baseball fan in those days, where I watched all the teams. Now I kind of watch Cleveland. I know pretty well what's going on with Cleveland, and then I just get aware of like other stories peripherally as they come out. Anyway. And then if they don't want to pitch to Gunnels, they've got Gracia. If they don't want to pitch to Gracia, they got Walker. And I just don't think this is a 2 through 5 that most people can get through. Especially if Soriano starts off with a walk. That's what I'm hoping. That's how I'm hoping things turn out. To the rotation, I really think... Because one thing I was lamenting at the end of last episode was a lack of a big game pitcher. I think a healthy Matos could be that pitcher. But it's not going to be easy. It is not going to be easy. And I'm so nervous about that. I think this is a team that is built to make it to the playoffs. But I'm worried we don't have the horses to carry us through the playoffs. That's my issue. That is my issue. Now, getting Zach Whitney back would help. However, you'll notice that Whitney has actually declined a bit. If we go into the scouting reports, EC rated a 70 overall. Well, what's changed? Not much as far as you can see it until you realize, oh wait, that says... So here's stuff is at 76. If we look at it now, it's 60. He's basically lost some of his ability to strike people out. And I think this is because his changeup got worse. Because I don't remember his changeup being a 37 in the past. I still think what he is great, though. I still think he is an excellent pitcher. And he's exactly what I'm looking for. If if Whitney can have a nice full season, I think we'll be okay. We're going to give up homers, but I'm hoping that the superior defense of Soriano will help with that. Tian still has room to grow. And he's already a pretty good pitcher. But yeah, he needs to stop giving up home runs. And part of that is entirely my fault. If we look at their pitching rating super fast, they don't have movement. Tian in particular, and Romo to a lesser extent. If you don't have movement, what happens is you'll throw really hard but really straight. And it makes it difficult to get out hitters who can be really patient and wait for that really great pitch. When you throw almost 100 miles an hour, that offsets it a little bit. But it is a profound weakness in his game. So Tian's always going to be like that. And we just have to accept that and live with it. Palau is basically Tian with more pitches. And there's nothing at all wrong with that. I'm hoping that his increased quantity of pitches will help him fool hitters. And they're all good pitches, which is what's really awesome. We could use some dedicated ground ballers. And we don't have any on the roster right now. That is something else we could do to help mitigate some of the issues we've had. But I do think it's a team that is built to make it to the playoffs, barring... we could probably handle 1 or 2 catastrophic injuries, but that's probably our limit. But even at our worst, I think we still make it into the playoffs. I think we have too much raw talent. So before we start playing, let's think about what's going to happen in the future. I want to bring back Sanchez. I want to bring back Romo if we can afford them. Our problem is we have other people that are going to want quite a lot of money as well. And if it looks like we're out of it, I'm probably going to trade Romo at his highest... Probably not his highest level, actually. He kind of is what he is right now. Also, Gracias actually declined a little bit. So I definitely don't want to sign him long term. Not until I'm convinced that he can handle it. Alright, friends. Let's see what happens. So, we begin, as always, by simming the first month of the season. I have a personal message already. Yeah, well, you are minor league talents. I'm sorry, boys, but if you don't want to sign with me, then that's fine. I'm not going to waste money on you. A low back injury isn't the end of the world. I'd rather he suffer an injury early on in the season than later. We're dead last in the division, but it's also very early on. Ben Manning. I'm not saying you're not a good pitcher, but I am saying you're incredibly raw. Okay. I will designate you for assignment then. .300 homers. Oh my lord. Okay. I did not expect that in his first 58 plate appearances that Goss would get 4 hits. The man's getting on base. Yikes. I mean, it's super early on in the season. People are entitled to have problems, but oh my dear. Game, I need you to leave Matos alone, please. I just need you to leave him alone and let him actually fucking pitch. Alright. Next man up is our old pal Dave Albring. And everyone else moves up in the rotation. And I'm not going to let Palau start if I don't have to. All of these Schadenfreude additions I have, like, I wanted to see how bad that Juan Soto would be after I traded him. It's kind of fun. Alright, Manning cleared waivers, and off he goes to AAA. I cannot understate, or I will overstate, rather, how much I love the fact that automatically take people off waivers when you demote them from the DFA area. That's so huge. Okay. Any big changes here? Gavin Guidry's power is up at 24. That might mean he hits a home run every 2 years instead of every 3 years. Some declines elsewhere. Emilio Sandoval has not improved yet, but we'll give him some time. Nothing too exciting, which is fine. So, we're a game below 500, which is still good enough to put us 3 games out of first. It's a very tight division. I kind of want to look at the team, but I also kind of don't, because it's, like, no one has 100 at-bats yet, I don't think. Yeah, even Gunnels doesn't have 100 yet. So, this is such a tiny sample size that it's pretty much impossible to say how things are going to go. I will say, thank you, Vinny Soriano. You've exceeded my expectations already. It's not going to last any more than Goss hitting 118. Pitchers are doing okay. There are there's some trouble spots in the bullpen. But so far, things are going okay. They're not going great, but I fully expect to start seeing some of our other players start playing a little bit better. Like, I can buy some of these guys hitting this poorly, but as a team, I think we're maybe just a bit cold because, oh yeah, I screwed up big time. I put a bunch of people on spring training roster and then didn't put them in the lineup. So I think some of them are probably just going through spring training like now, effectively. So we'll see how things look at the end of May. I'm not going to rush to conclusions. And it means we have room to grow, right? We have room to get better. Just as people start to hit the way that we should expect them to hit. Like, we're never going to be a team of 300 hitters. Where everyone hits 300. That's just not our talent level. But we're definitely better than that. And there goes Lejeune Diakudis. Which means it is time for us to restore Charlie Burr, Leon Paez, or Manny Rosales. I've never let Rosales start before. He is a ground ball pitcher, though. And we're a team that does pretty well with that. Do I want Rosales to start? Is he the next man up over Burr or Paez? I don't really want another fat fly ball guy. And Burr is neutral. Although Burr is very talented. I guess I should probably call up Burr. Just because he was a solid contributor for us last season. But I'm weirdly intrigued by the idea of calling up Rosales and seeing what he could manage. So I think we'll do exactly that. Next change. I said starter. Next change. You're no longer unused more often. I think you're getting overused and your arm is not holding up very well. Let me guess. Palau gives up too many homers. Yep. It's fine. It's room for him to grow. I mean, good for you, but I wasn't going to actually, sign you money for you. Pete Richards has really started to force the issue in the best possible way. This man has been quite a hitter, and it's nice to have a quality... I have a surprising amount of depth in the first base department in the minors. Which is great news, right? It's fantastic news. Because J.J. Goss is already 33. And he's certainly not getting any younger. I don't even know who Jim Evans is, but I guess I'm sad that he's out for the season. If I was ever hired to be a real-life Major League General Manager, I'd like to think I was more aware of the players in my organization, but maybe I just wouldn't be. You gotta figure conservatively, there's a couple hundred minor leaguers plus major leaguers in every organization. Mr. Gonzalez is going to be fine, I think. Vasquez or Martin? Look, Martin is really close to Major League ready. But on the flip side, I think Vasquez has earned a Major League trial. But Martin is better right now. I hate to do this to you, Vasquez, but you just got lapped. It's nothing personal, but... So I'm going to make you... No, actually I'm going to keep you as the closer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade you to 8th or later. He does have a major issue, which his stamina is awful. And then I need to promote someone else to 7th inning setup. And here we go. Until Gonzalez gets back, we're just going to have a more traditional bullpen where we need 3 people to get to the end instead of just 1. Yeah. Damn, son. Another personal message. You love to see it. Yeah, they keep rating Whitney as a reliever, even though he's starting, which is very confusing to me, and I wish I'd stopped doing that. Because I can't get a true sense of his actual talent. Palau's even better striking people out. Grossi is starting to dip a little bit. Bruni Soriano's got better at power, but worse at eye, which is a bad combo for me. Gunnels is starting to slip a little bit. How are my minor leaguers doing? Any big surprises? Sal Damasco took a leap. That's always encouraging. Okay. So, how does the team look now? So remember how I said there's no possible way they would not hit like this the whole season? I was deeply wrong, apparently. I have 4 starters that are all hitting way below their actual talent level. Kaito Kazono is 48 contact. That's out of 184 batting average. That's like a 230 batting average. Theo Gillen is a 55 contact. He's hitting 226. Ali Sanchez is really here to play decent defense, but even he's slipping. And then, yeah, J.J. Goss leads the team in home runs, and he's getting on base quite a bit. I'm not upset at all about Goss. He's doing what he needs to do, and that's fine. I can't explain it. I don't know why 4 of my hitters all of a sudden turned into absolute jokes of contact people. Soriano's cooled off, but he's still getting on base at a 340 clip. He's also hitting for a lot of power, which is interesting. He's number 2 on the team in homers, after all. I think this is going to turn out to be fine. But I don't even know who I would promote to change things, is the issue. Or even trade for. And this is a really tight division. We're 3 games out of first and 2 games out of the wild card spot. If we make it to July... Oh, did I miss the draft? I didn't miss the draft, did I? I didn't. Okay. If by July this is the roster I'm looking at, I'm going to have to make upgrades whether I want to or not. And I'm eyeing Kazono, actually. I think second base is a play area I kind of needed to upgrade anyway. Who do we have on the bench right now? And how are they doing? Guidry's Guidry. I mean, it's better than Kazono, but that's not saying much. Mike Burden is not playing often, but when he is playing... Oh, he's not a second baseman. And Mike Sheehan's not hitting very well either. I'm gonna make one change right now. I'm going to start having Shepard play every 5 games. And see how that turns out for him. Because Shepard is not a bad catcher by any means. He's actually having a pretty good year offensively, and I want to give him a shot to have a few more at-bats and take some of the burden off of Sanchez, who is, let's be honest, 37 years old, which is might as well be a million years old in catcher years. Yeah, I'm not saying Salix Brown was the answer at second base, but he'll be better than Kazono. I don't think there's any disputing that. Let's also very quickly check the trade block. Ooh. I got excited when I saw this, and then I saw this. That's a pretty bad second baseman. Cade Horton is a really good defender. He's actually a really, really good defender. Ugh, Matt McClain, I love your offense. I hate your defense. And I definitely can't afford your salary. We could get Noah Smith back. I gotta be honest. I kind of like the idea of having him come home. Right? Like, I'm not crazy about that, am I? Bringing him home, giving him another chance to shine? Man. Like, I was definitely thinking of Cade Horton, but Cade Horton is probably the better player, in all honesty. But the difference is that Noah Smith is still actually a pretty solid hitter. Whereas there's a bit more issue with our pal Horton. Bringing Noah Smith back makes a lot of sense, actually. You're trying to get a Caleb DiMuzio already? Oh, you probably want a lot of money arbitration. That makes sense. Now, the difference that we shouldn't discount here between Horton and Smith is that while Horton isn't quite as good a hitter, he is a better defender, and most importantly, we have him under control for a lot longer because he got started very late. Whereas with Noah Smith, I could potentially lose him in free agency. Let me see what it would take to get Horton out of Philadelphia. No. Horton is also incredibly valuable, even if he doesn't play center, or even if he doesn't start. Do I really want Horton? Like, let me make this claim plain, because I didn't talk about it because you didn't hear the episode. I'm going to go to Kazono anyway. Kazono is on borrowed time. He's already getting up there. He had a couple of very solid seasons. I just don't think he can recapture that glory. So, it's Angel Castillo. I remember you. Oh, no, wait. I'm thinking of a different Angel Castillo from a different franchise. Horton is better for the team in the long run. He's not a great hitter, but he's an okay one, and he's a very good defender. So I think Horton makes sense, but I suppose I should also wait and see what we have to acquire for him. Now, Gillen, I'm willing to punt on offense with him. A, because I think he'll get better. But B, because, again, I'm not paying him. Whereas Kazono... Yeah, $6 million was great in the beginning, but now not so much. And the fact that his minimum salary is $6 million means it'll never go below that. So if I were to trade, if I'd offer you Kazono, how does that look to you? You would take the offer, even without me prompting further. Well, that's excellent news. Let's see if I can suck some more out of you. Frank Fernandez, gross. I would happily accept Ricky Balderas. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. Hey is good, says Guinea Pigs. Can I get Boyens too? Alright, this is where they start to make their objections. Oh, he's gonna be a free agent? Nah, fam. Oh, I see. He's gonna be free agent because he's not on a 40-man anywhere. But I do need more lefties on our team. Okay. Apparently, what if I drop Balderas? Okay, you really don't want to give up Boyens. That's fine. I'm looking for interesting lefties. There may not be any. There are. A switch hitting third baseman is always a quality offer here. Maybe one more player? What about like a Chris Gummersall? Okay, can I get one more prospect out of you? What about Bobby Velasquez? No. Bobby Velasquez breaks the deal for you. As I suspected he might. What about Jose Corona? No? Okay. Sean Clark. There's something about a guy who is just dependable. Yeah, I'm just going to take my 1-for-4 deal here. Done. I'm sorry that the fans are sad they're losing Kazono. It's Kazono's fault. So Cade Horton. I'll put you on the 40-man. And then I'll demote you to AAA. All right. So, Cade Horton is going to be our new starter at second base. And we're going to see how he does. And the reason that I really wanted to do this, because I was actually thinking, what if we just traded Kazono and then promoted Salix Brown? I think Brown is wonderful, but I want him to get lots of everyday experience. And that's going to determine if I can trust him in the next season or two. But I love everything about this cat. He draws walks, he's super fast, he's got pretty decent pop. He's a good second baseman, too. He's not as good as Horton, but I could very easily see myself, like, just making Horton a super sub. I'm sorry the fans didn't like that. I hope it brought some goodwill that you trust me. Because I think it's going to be better for the team. Alright. So let's go ahead and... especially when the margins are this narrow. Okay, Guidry. You've never been part of the starting lineup. You need to slow your roll, my dude. Plus, we free up more salary down the line, and that is pretty solid. Damn, Nate Hyde. Okay, we get our closer back. Who is the worst performing reliever? Oh my god, it's Eric Martin. Alright, Eric, you're gone. Thanks for playing. I'll send you to AAA at least. Give me back my freaking closer, damn it. Alright, so you're going back to 7th. You're going back to middle relief. Use more often. You're going back to closer at 8th plus. That feels a lot better. A trade proposal. No. I agree with you, Sergio Joyce. There is nothing about that deal that excited me. Other than saying goodbye to it. Okay. Dave Albring. I think I'm going to trade you very shortly here. Whose turn was it in the rotation? Is it Romo's? Yeah, it is Romo's. Okay. There goes Matos. I mean, we know what Albring is at this point. And what it is not very good. Now, are we going to get a good return from Mr. Albring? I don't think that we will. But I'm hesitant to give up starting pitching depth, but I've already got Paez and Burr. And look, over a series of Major League starts, he's just never been good. I don't know why he's not. But there's something about pitching for Pittsburgh that just takes a lot out of him. Maybe I just need to give him a bit of a longer leash, but I'm getting to the point where I don't think Albring is going to ever work out for us. But we'll see what happens. Okay. I definitely want Ricky Peral shortlisted. I think I also want to control his future. He's only 19, so I'm not going to rush him. But I think he's going to be heading to A-ball in the very near future. How's Andres Avila doing? He's doing well enough. He's not getting better as a catcher, which does give me concerns. But he's also 19 and playing in high A. So I'm willing to, give the man a chance to get a bit better. Oh, there goes... Oh, it's Alex Vasquez. I care a lot less about that. Okay. Cade Horton's declined a bit. Salix Brown is really pushing his case, which is pretty impressive. Emilio Sandoval is starting to improve. We've got some young players making big pushes this season. Jeremy Van Sant. I think at this point you're more valuable to me as a trade chit than you are as a major leaguer. I think Pete Richards is already better than you are. Where's Pete Richards? Did he get hurt? Damn it, Pete. I still think he's a better player than you are. I'm just going to kick the tires on trading Van Sant and seeing what kind of prospects I could get for him. Nothing, huh? That's fair. Alright. There's no pictures? That's kind of funny. Oh, damn, son. I like your offensive talent, like, quite a lot, actually. There we go. No. Emilio Sandoval, congratulations. You're now one untouchable. Because I'm not going to give you up that quickly. How's the team doing? We've seen a bit of a bounce back from Goss. And he's still a productive player. So I'm not going to, like, demote him or anything like that. Cade Horton has hit okay. Not brilliantly, but okay. Theo Gillen has improved a bit. I mean, I've got to be able to upgrade a catcher, though. Like, Zion Rosa's hitting worse than this when I traded for him. Is there a quality catcher available on the trade market, I wonder? Maybe. Like, Theo Gillen has never hit below 260 in the past. And I bet if I look at his BABIP, it's just like hilariously low. No, it's actually pretty decent. He just normally hits better. Might just be getting older. The thing is, though, with Gillen's defense, I'll happily take an uninspiring bat. Because that's what he's there for. I gotta be able to do better than Sanchez, right? Right? A guy like Luka Davis at least gets on base, but he's definitely not like a great hitter or anything. And how is Adam Shepard doing as the starter? Shepard's a way better hitter this season. I don't think he's going to be like that his entire career. But Shepard is definitely better than Sanchez this season. So that's what we're going to do for right now. Well, then, you can go to hell. Yeah. A lot of them just aren't that inspiring. I guess if I'm looking at anybody, it would probably be like a Willie Avendano. But I'm not convinced that's the kind of profile I'm looking for. Like, I would happily have taken Bill Garay, but if he really wants to play for LA or whatever, then that's what happens. Or San Diego, sorry. It is what it is. I'm not going to fight him. If he wants to go play for someone else. There's no one else there that I really think is worth my $5 million. I just made my catcher a starter, so no, I don't want your awful reliever. Go away, please. I can try like... Oh, man. Okay, good. Alright. Let's wrap, brothers. Hey, we've got decent cohesion now. So this is the perfect time to keep our main coaching staff together to the extent that we can. Alright. Ray King, you have consistently kept us as one of the best overall pitching staffs in the league. Ray, welcome back. Trainer, I guess you've done well. I'm not likely to find anyone a lot better than you. So I am going to extend you. Yes. I can always fire you later. I definitely want Kevin Hooper to stick around as a hitting coach. I think Kevin Dixon is a future top tier base coach. He's no Gonzalez. We'll keep Jimmy Gonzalez too. Oh no, wait! I had a plan, didn't I? I was going to actually promote Kieran Madison, but he's not as good as Gonzalez. So yeah, I'm going to keep him as my third base coach. So Kevin Dixon, I'm going to re-sign you. Luke Montz is a phenomenal hitting coach. I definitely don't want to lose him. Todd Erdos is really solid. He's actually a pretty decent manager. I will give him an extension just to keep him in the fold. Wellington Cruz, I like you. I like you a lot. You are maximum Wellington, in my opinion. Kit Pello, you're also excellent. We might want to think about getting some coaches that are better at mechanics, because that's where you get the big leaps, which I learned about, again, in the video, which you didn't see. So, whoops. Pat Robles, I'm going to let you walk. You're not that good. Luis Borges is quite good. I'll keep him in the minors as long as I can keep him. David Perez is fine. As is Richie Bennett. It's hard for me to get excited about my second Dominican League team and hire the very best coaches. He even wants less money. That's pretty funny. He's like, man, you're paying me too much. Give me less money. Like, okie dokie. Alright, so we're going to be locked up for coaches next season, which is pretty great. I think the only slot we actually need to replace is a new pitching coach for the rookie league. And then may end up just being a promotion. And we hire someone for lower in the order. Alright. It is draft time. I've really done a lot with scouting in the draft, but for me the difficult part is always going to be that what am I thinking? Is going to be that I'm always going to be picking toward the back of the draft, so scouting isn't that important because I'm not going to get a great player even with a perfect thing. So here's what's left. We have desperately needed catching talent. And Andy Marks is not that guy. He's a very good hitter. And even though he's not an amazing catcher, I've certainly seen worse. And we're desperate for a top flight catching prospect, besides Avila. Like, Christian Epps is a really great shortstop. And he's got a very quick path to the majors, but he's effectively blocked. So I think I am going to go ahead and take Andy Marks and see how that works out for us. Okay. So I really need lefties. lefty relievers is a topic that's been somewhat unpleasant for me. So Chris Dake, welcome to the Pittsburgh Pirates. Next. Do we take a stab at Kurt Gwonke? Now, I remember I didn't get to sign I didn't get to sign an international free agent this year, so I've got a little bit of money to spend. And he's an incredible home run hitter. Like, a truly exceptional one. And he wouldn't be the worst infielder. Like, I could see him fitting in nicely at third base. I'm going to draft him. And if we can sign him, great. And if we can't, it's not going to cost me a huge amount. Alright, Jose Tejada just keeps slipping. I'm assuming it's because people don't like solid relievers. But I do. Done. Alright, let's look at batters now. Because I've gotten quite a few pitchers in this draft. And I want to make sure that we've got some offensive talent if we can find it. We're in the 5th round, the last round, but I have to give him a signing bonus. I don't think he's good enough. Let us look at batting potential, and let's look for the best contact hitter. It's Gabe Bryant by quite a lot, actually. Yeah, Gabe Bryant seems like a much better choice at this point in the draft. You're kind of a limited... Oh, you're going to go to college. Okay. Then I'm not going to press the point. I'm going to take a stab at Gene Dodds. It cost me nothing, quite literally. And then, are there any really good defenders? I will draft Jamie Coble, and we'll see if we can't get him some offensive or some work so that he hits better. All players, please. Jonathan James is a pretty stand-up reliever. I don't know why he's fallen this far, but I'm going to take him. He's a great value. Especially for no money, right? I will take a flyer on Sean Gunnels. He's not a great prospect right now, but once he gets into our system, if he can work on that control, he could be a very, very good pitcher. I think. And I'm not, hey, it's an 8th round pick, who cares? I think that's going to do it for this draft. I don't really feel any need to go any deeper than 8 rounds, or 9 rounds rather. I'm really hoping that one of these catchers that we've acquired turns out to be a great catcher, because we really haven't had a great one. How much money does Gwonke want? Well, it's more than $3.4 million, and I've got lots of money, so I'm going to offer him $4 million. This is essentially like me getting international free agent, but not because they didn't want to sign with me because they're jerks. And we did get Gwonke, as I kind of figured we would. Let's look at Pitt. Chan made an all-star team, as did Manoa and Medeiros. J.J. Goss made it. Garrett Gunnels made it, because of course he did. And it looks like that's it. I don't see any of the all-stars this year. I see Goss, our two relievers, our starter, and then Gunnels. Which, I mean, holy shit, Drew Jones. What a wild career you've had. Didn't I ever so briefly have you? Or was that in the Baltimore? I was in the Baltimore franchise, I think. Good for him. Any old friends here? Any of my former players? Caleb DiMuzio made the All-Star team. You know what? I am happy with this. I'm happy with our performance this season. How about All-Star games here? Avila, Eric Martin, Ricky Peral. There we go. Okay. Let us keep on keeping on. Andy Marks, I am hoping for very big things from you, so I need you to not be bad. Thanks. That's a lot more like it. Everyone's hitting a good bit better. Kate Horton's hitting 260. Theo Gillen is hitting 260. This is what I expect from him. Maybe with a bit more pop. I mean, he's not hitting home runs this year, which is kind of weird. But this is more what I was expecting. We're actually third in batting WAR, which is important. I like how my owner has like every single season been like, you need to get me better at stolen bases. And I always like, got it, Chief, and then don't give it to him. I wouldn't mind adding a starter. I would not mind adding a starter. Like, a big game veteran starter, I think, could really tie this roster together, and I'd feel a lot better about our chances going forward. What do we got in the trading block? I mean, I love Ronald Acuna Jr. You're not going to give him to me. I love Mike Marion, but again, you're not going to give him to me either. Let's go to starters, please. I like you a lot. And I have a feeling you're going to cost me a lot. I don't really want to trade. I don't really want to do a rental if I can avoid it. Yeah, how's about Steve Myers? What would it take for me to get him? Surprisingly little. I gotta say I wasn't expecting that. What if I started by offering you... So here's the thing. Goffredo Romo is a free agent. He's going to want quite a bit of money. But I'd rather offer something else. What were you willing to take as again? I'm not giving up Brown. I like him too much. Maybe Nate Hyde? Like, Nate Hyde's value just from the fact that he throws a lot of innings. There's no reason that another pitcher couldn't do the same thing. Do you have any intriguing relievers you haven't given a shot to? Like Mario Vasquez. No, he doesn't want to do that. That's fine. Done. I'm not going to hesitate. Because I think he just makes us better. By a lot. And then what this lets me do then is I can take Rosales and I can reduce his role. So we still get the benefit of his capabilities, but with... And here, you're going to be my number 4 starter. And then you're going to be long relief. Middle relief. I think Manoah's pitched so well, I'm going to change you to just being middle relief. So you don't have to pitch those multi-inning games. I think that'll be really good. You are going to be up for arbitration, but your arbitration demands aren't super crazy so far. I'm probably going to start cutting some of my budgets in order to afford bringing back some of these players, and that's fine. I want to keep the great players when I can. AJ? Buddy? I don't really think you're worth $10 million. I really don't think you're worth $10 million. I think I'd rather have Emilio Sandoval, who, again, could be a potential leadoff guy or a number 2 guy, and a great defender. I wonder if I could get a king's ransom for Gracia if I traded him. Oh, I don't have to trade him right now. He's going into arbitration, so I can trade him in the offseason, so that's what I'll do then. Perfect. I do not like how razor thin our margins have been all season. We need a bit of a run where we can start making up some ground. No. What is it about my team that convinces you that I need aged relievers who aren't very good? My bullpen is fine. Like, I am perfectly content with my bullpen as is. I don't need another bullpen. Nice work, Vinny. Yes, like, I don't know why you would look at my roster and decide the one thing I need is a 38-year-old reliever. Don't want him. I think they're like borderline starters, and so the game thinks I want more starters. How the hell has Steve Myers gone 3-12? Oh, because you're having a bad season with Cleveland. That's fine. Got to get those walks under control, my dude, but we'll figure it out. We're really bad at defense. Is it all Gracia? That would be my guess. Who's making all these errors? It's Walker and Gillen. That's a bad look, my guys. You are here for a specific reason, and if you do not meet that reason, you will be replaced. Yeah, I'm going to call Gillen's errors the kind where the shortstop tries too hard, because everything else about him looks great. Oh, bless me. Oh, goodness. Now, Soriano, on the other hand, has just been amazing all around in center field, which isn't even his best position. Very happy with him. Yeah, look at Gillen's zone rating. Now, Jordan Walker just might not be that great a third baseman, or maybe he's having a bit of a down year, but I'm certainly not going to replace him because he does what I need him to do, which is hit very well. Guidry's starting to decline. I don't know, he hasn't played a ton. Well, maybe he really hasn't played enough to really do anything about that. Dalen Newstrom is such a weird but incredibly valuable player for us. And that he's a phenomenal hitter who can't defend at all. But he gets the job done, and I like having this potent threat off of the bench when we need him. Alright. Do I want to trade anybody? Just to get them off the roster. I'm not going to bring Ollie Sanchez back. I'm wondering what I could get for him. But then the question becomes, if I get rid of Ollie Sanchez, who's my new backup catcher? I mean, I guess it could be Joe Ferry. He's not great, but he's good enough, I think. Because I think Adam Shepard has proven that he can be a starter now. So yeah, I think I will trade Ollie Sanchez for somebody that's willing to give me a prospect for him. I got to admit, it's not an impressive bunch, but I am trading a backup catcher. Oscar Saldana, almost instantly, would be a perfect choice. He's a great outfielder, really good hitter. I do still need more middle infield talent. So either of these would really be good choices. I wonder if I could get both. I'm going to get greedy here. Can I get Silver and... Not Aguirre. What was that? Oh, it was Rodriguez. Wasn't Rodriguez. It was a center fielder. Saldana. That was the kid's name. Okay. I was hoping to get one of them. If I can get both of them. There's no way you give me David Guerra, right? I wouldn't want him either, so that's fine. Yeah, I love Jose Rodriguez. You're not going to give him to me, and I wouldn't have anywhere to play him even if I did. Although, no. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. I don't know what your problem is, Sergio Joyce. This is already an amazing deal. I love everything about it. And there we go. Done. We do not look like idiots. You look like an idiot because you're upset that I'm trading away a backup catcher. I'm sorry the fans didn't like that, but trust me. This was a great deal. This was one of my best deals, in my opinion, of late. Alright, I do need a new backup catcher. So for right now, I'm going to promote Joe Ferry. And I'm also going to very quickly check the free agent market. I could bring in Jared Thomas. He'd be a backup, and his offense would be very handy off the bench. Yeah, bruh. I'll bring you in. I don't even care, dude. I mean, you're better than Joe Ferry. And you give me another dimension off my bench, which is always appreciated. And done. Yeah, OOTP, please fix this. If a player is listed as a starting pitcher, please rate him as a starting pitcher. That'd be great. Okay. That's not fair, game. You need to stop this crippling injury to one or more pitchers every season. It needs to stop. Please. I guess Dave Albring comes back, because someone's got to do the thing. And then Myers is going to pitch here. I think Palau has earned at least a chance to be our 5th starter. And we can see how he does. Manny Rosales, avoid high leverage, please. I want you to be a garbage time guy. Yeah, Steve Myers cannot stop giving up home runs all of a sudden. I don't know what that's about, but I'd like you to stop, please. You're a ground ball pitcher. Act like it, dude. All right. Joe Ferry. Thanks for playing, but I wanted Jared Thomas to be my backup catcher. And I also want him to be my number 2 pinch hitter because he's just that good. There we go. Okay, I mean, apparently I'm supposed to be good at preventing arm injuries, but not good enough, apparently. Oh, this is reliever time? I was gonna promote Vasquez, actually, but I guess he got hurt. Did he? No, he didn't. Where's Vasquez? Where's Rene Vasquez? Oh, he's right there. I just went right past him for some reason. Whoopsie. Um... Yeah, Martin doesn't have a ton of innings under his belt. Unlike Vasquez, he's consistently pitched several innings, and I think has earned a promotion. So we're gonna go with Vasquez as a middle reliever. Yeah, there we go. Myers' ERA all of a sudden is plummeting because he's getting his shit under control. Dude, you barely played. I've got to put you on the IL, so welcome back, Joe Ferry. And I guess yeah, that's not nice. Gidry, you're not. You really, really aren't. I would like to bring Romo back. I just can't afford to give anyone an extension right now. But you're definitely on my list at the end of the season, for sure. For someone that I'm going to have a chat with. Come on, Pittsburgh. Just push that extra little bit. Just a little bit. I don't need, like, the greatest season in Major League history. I just need enough to win the division. Finally, Whitney is rated as a starting pitcher. That's something, I guess. Cade Horton's starting to get a little bit worse. Then again, I got so much out of that trade that I'm not that annoyed by it. Pretty good. Damn, son. Way to go, Zach. That's good stuff right there. Now, I definitely want to use roster expansion. The question is, who do I call up? Look, Leon Paez has now had 2 consecutive seasons as a... No. I don't want to call up anybody that would go on the 40-man. I could do Martin and Sandoval, actually. Let Sandoval be a defensive replacement. Give him the odd rep in the outfield. There's a lot to be said for that, actually. Oh, damn, Josh Cage. You kind of came out of nowhere. In a very good way. Hmm. Yeah, I think it is going to be Martin and Sandoval. And then Martin, I want you to be pitching in middle relief with just normal usage patterns. That's fine. Lineups. Mr. Sandoval, I would like you very much to be a defensive sub and be my number 2 pinch hitter. And let's also just go ahead and make you the primary backup in the corners. The less we're inflicted with Newstrom in the field, the better for all concerned, I think. All right. That'll do for that. We're losing a lot of really close games, which is unfortunate. But there's also... That's just one of them things that just happens. Losing J.J. Goss for 4 weeks is one of those things I wish had not happened. Alright. Big questions time. It's Pete Richards. Because Pete Richards could also play hit second, just like Goss was hitting. So I think that's the play. I mean, I could also just have Dalen Newstrom play every day at first base. I mean, how bad could he be? Okay, really bad. Then again, Richards isn't that great. You know what? Let's try it. Let's try putting Dalen Newstrom in the everyday lineup as a first baseman. And then Richards can be the number 1 pinch hitter. Or does it make sense to platoon them? How is Newstrom as... Ooh, Newstrom does not like left-handed pitching. Whereas I think Richards probably also doesn't. Yeah, Richards really doesn't like left-handed pitching. If that's the case, then it's not going to be Richards. It's going to be Van Sant. Because Van Sant is... No, Van Sant can't hit righties either. What the fuck? I've surely got to have one first base possibility that hits righties. Or hits lefties, right? You know what? I'm going to have Jared Thomas do it. He's going to be my hitter against lefties. You know what? It's just going to be Newstrom. Let's just accept it. And then Thomas goes here. And here. And here. And here. Alright. We're relying on a lot of unproven talent at a very late time in the season. We're going to see what happens. Not Andy Fowler and Dave Campbell. Okay, so what I'm seeing right now is that apparently JJ Goss was secretly holding us back despite hitting 34 homers. Because we just went on a hell of a tear. And I'm not sure how to... I'm not quite sure what to think of that. Oh, look at Andy Marks improving. That's good stuff. Like, I don't even care Ricky Pearl does play center. I just want to see him keep getting better offensively. Oh, that was his last game in AAA. Okay. And boom, we locked up the division title. Because Dalen Newstrom is like, holy shit, an everyday opportunity. I'm not going to let that go by. Damn, son. Also, can I just add, Vinny fucking Soriano has just obliterated all my expectations. I expected him to be good. I didn't expect him to come in here and be like, yeah, I'm awesome. Just a really great season for most of the team. Jordan Walker, he's still a positive contributor, but he might be someone else we need to think about replacing in the not too distant future. But all right, let's get to the end of the regular season. We got hot at the right time, for sure. That sucks, but I guess it could be worse. Hey, Danny Cedeno. Welcome to the Major Leagues. Alek Manoah, you're going to be my use more often guy. I want him to be the first man out of the pen. And he has really done an amazing job of reinventing his career. Because this was a guy I'd counted on to be a meaningful starter, and he wasn't. And then all of a sudden, he's just come in and been this incredible relief pitcher. And, yeah, it's to the point where it's almost a no-brainer to bring him back. Which I certainly did not think a couple seasons ago. I'm going to be honest with you. Can I put 34 homers on the bench? No, but I can platoon him. Who gets demoted? I don't need 3 catchers, so goodbye, Joe Ferry. Yeah, you know what? Here's what's going to happen, yo. Because Newstrom is really, really bad against left-handed pitching. I'm going to go ahead and make Goss be a platoon starter for the playoffs here. Like, obviously, I can't justify benching him entirely, but once you get to the playoffs, you need to ride the hot hand. And it's fair to say there's probably nobody, like, raw hotter than Newstrom. No, game. You do not get to leave Newstrom off the playoff roster. I don't know what has you convinced I didn't want to keep him. Newstrom is 100% making. Oh, I need to take someone off the playoff roster. Right. How many pitchers are on my playoff roster right now? Oh, Dave Albring. I don't want him on the playoff roster. Gross. No, give me Dalen Newstrom. That's better. Okay. What else? What else do we do? Gotta get that pitching staff set up. Yeah, Myers hasn't been great, but he's fixed a lot of his issues over time. I think Whitney's been good enough during the regular season that I think he deserves at least a chance at a meaningful postseason pitch. But Palau's definitely getting left off. And Matos is going to go there. You're going to be emergency starter, long relief. Palau has been one of the most useful Rule 5 draft picks we've had in some time. I think he's really done well for us. In fact, let's review the entire team before we get into the playoffs. That's boring. You're boring, Zoidberg. Sorry. Gunnels, my dude. I love you forever. And I said this in the episode that didn't get recorded, but if anyone is going to give me my Hall of Famer, I'm increasingly believing it's going to be Gunnels. He's already at 37 total, or sorry, let's just look at the majors, please. He's already at 37 total WAR. If he can get into that 50-60 range, I think he's got a really solid chance at it. I do think he's going to have a hard time building up the big, sexy numbers that get people guaranteed into the Hall of Fame. And he does have the trap in that the thing he's really, really great at is drawing walks. And that's never been something that the Hall of Fame voters have looked at and said yes. But he's also only played for 7 seasons. Not even 7 seasons, because he didn't play in 2028. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know it's 7. I think he's got a chance. So we're going to be looking to see how he does. Who else did well this season? Theo Gillen really stepped up after a very cold opening. And I know a lot of this comes from his defensive capabilities, but again, I'm not even really paying him. Vinny Soriano. I only made one real trade in the offseason, and boy did it work out for us. Even though he's not what I wanted him to be, he's actually better. In different ways. A future of Vinny Soriano, Emilio Sandoval, and Garrett Gunnels in the outfield looks very bright indeed now. Cade Horton. He provided more than we would have gotten from Kazono, and he's a lot cheaper. So I'm going to call that a win. I'm going to call that a big win. AJ Gracia is getting to the point where I love him, but I'm tired of paying him. And especially if he thinks I'm going to give him $10 million, I just don't think that's a smart use of my resources. Another one of our outstanding reclamation projects, we took a player that had been great for the Mets, who inexplicably discarded him, and now I've got myself a valuable trade chip. Because someone's going to want him, especially in the American League. JJ Goss had a bit of a step back from last season, partly because of injury, partly just because he didn't hit as well. But let's not let his batting average disguise the fact he's actually a very important contributor. And I think it's fair to say that batting him second worked out. I think it's fair to say that. He did a really good job with that. Did Gunnels get 100 RBI? He did not. And this is another example why RBI are useless, right? You know why I didn't get very many RBI? Because Soriano and Goss were ahead of him and were number 2 and number 3 on the team in home runs. So basically, he kept gumming up to the bases when they were empty. And still had an amazing season, so I'm certainly not going to begrudge him that. A bit of a setback for Jordan Walker, but again, I basically got really good value for him. But if this is going to be the trend he's going in, we will be replacing him soon. Dalen Newstrom was given a very unpleasant job of basically being my number 1 bench guy, and he took it and ran with it. And then when I needed someone to step up to play for his space, he again came through. And I'm going to ride the hot hand. I'm going to see how he does in the playoffs, because we need to do something different than we have been. Now, Adam Shepard, I mean, was he better than Ollie Sanchez? Yes. Was he good? No. Catcher is, I think, the number 1 area we need to get a top quality upgrade for. And then the other bench guys didn't contribute a lot. Like how Mike Sheehan was in 132 games, but only started 12 of them. And it's because he was my center field replacement. A really off-kilter year in terms of him hitting. But a utility guy being replacement level is fine with me. Is very fine with me. And it might have helped keep Soriano healthy. At least that's what I'm telling myself anyway. Emilio Sandoval did quite well down the stretch as well. Let's look at the pitching. This is really Zach Whitney's year. Zach Whitney has had so many problems staying healthy. This is the season he showed out, and I think he's eligible for Rookie of the Year. I think he might get a few votes because he's been the rock in this rotation. We got innings out of Matos, which is not nothing. But our relievers really carried the load again. I cannot stress enough how badly we need a consistent, healthy rotation so that we don't have a burnt-out bullpen when the season rolls around. But to be honest with you, our bullpen was phenomenal again, despite trading Nate Hyde. And I just want to highlight how little we're paying our relievers. It is such a mystifying thing to me. I genuinely don't get it that Major League teams spend so much money on their bullpens. Are bullpens important? Yes. But you can get one for very little money. And yet people pay like $10 million for a setup man, which I just think is absurd. If we sort by 2034 money, the only reliever that comes is Gregory Santos with $2.8 million. Alek Manoah with $2.2 million. And yeah, it's a bunch of people that just aren't getting paid very much. I would like to offer Mr. Ben Manning. He actually wants a Major League salary. You know what I'd love to do? Ooh, hell no. I was going to tell him to lock down Matos. I am not paying him that much money when he hasn't proven to me that he can handle it yet. Ramon Gonzalez, I love you, and you're not coming back for that much money. You've been such a tremendous reliever for us, and I guess at some point I have to actually open up the pocketbook to keep a reliever. Are you that reliever? Or do I just not do it? Because I've got such a quality... Like, I pretty much crap out great relievers every season. And that's why I'm really struggling with the idea of paying Ramon Gonzalez $10 million in the offseason. I'd rather use the money to, say, re-sign Romo and bring him back for another few seasons. Although he hasn't been great either. And I don't think he's worth $10 million either. We'll have to think about that. But we're not done yet. It's playoffs, baby. And get me to the next round, if you please. We're playing the Phillies in the first round. It's a nice all-Pennsylvania series. Why am I not playing the wild card team? Who is better than me in the regular season? Arizona must have gotten it by a tiebreaker. I need to refresh my memory. What was my head-to-head record with the Diamondbacks, I wonder? Because I'm sure I played them. Because that would be the first tiebreaker. Yeah, Arizona kicked my butt this year. I only won one game against them. I guess that makes sense then. Okie dokie. Fair enough. And we're going to sim ahead one more day. Oh, Philly. What a starter. Oh, look at that. Freaking J.J. Matos throws 8 1/3 innings of 2-hit ball. What a guy. Romo gets lit up like a Christmas tree. Looks like he got bounced pretty early, which is fine. Are you fucking kidding me, game? Of all the people for you to injure, you had to injure Garrett Gunnels. That was deliberate. I bet you freaking threw it in, you jackasses. Looks like Sandoval is starting in the playoffs. That is some bullshit right there. Guys, not again. Please. Look, I just got through praising you, Alek Manoah, and then you give up a freaking home run. Alright, we beat Myers. We didn't beat Myers, we had Myers. Oh my god, really, game. Matos got fucking hurt. Again. And they brought in the rookie. And he gave up 2 damn home runs. I'm so tired of first round exits. We finally got a big game performance from one starter, and then all my other starters were crappy. Like, Steve Myers was fine, but then Baloo pitched like crap. Look, the relievers are carrying too heavy a load. And they're getting burned out by the end of the season, and it's because the starters aren't going long enough. I mean, was Philly even that great a team? They had the second best offense in the NL. I guess that's something. I mean, losing Gunnels is probably one of the reasons we lost. Vinny Soriano disappeared in the playoffs. Goss was utterly useless. Newstrom was good. Gracia was good. But yeah, it was a bad offensive performance. Once again. And Francisco Lindor killed us. We got to break through somehow. And it's got to come from getting better starters, I think. Because, look, Matos had an amazing first game. Brilliant. Romo got reamed. Whitney did well, but Manoah got reamed. Myers did well. I still don't know why you pulled him out of the game after only 57 pitches of two-hit baseball. I need to look at my game strategy. I think there's too quick hook on the starters. And this just turned into Matos randomly getting hurt. If Matos had been healthy, I think we probably win this series. But I mean, at the end of the day, we can't hide the fact that my offense did not perform. It didn't. I mean, I guess that means a deeper bench, maybe. But the thing is, I don't know why they're not hitting. I don't know why they disappear in the playoffs. And I mean, the best player on the team missed most of the series. And at least the last few games were close. But I mean, getting blown out 9-2, there's just no explanation for that other than Romo sucks and probably shouldn't come back now. Like, I hate to make too much of a decision based on one freaking thing, but Romo just isn't reliable. He's just not good enough. He's not good enough at stopping people from getting hits. So I think we need to move on from him and not sign him for $9 million in the offseason. Yeah, and going into the last offseason, I said multiple times we needed a better pitching staff. And I decided that Matos being healthy would be enough, except he wasn't healthy. We also lost Tian for the playoffs. But, man. Oh, great. I'm delighted to have him back, except the series is over. Man. I mean, I don't want a nice score. I want a damn World Series championship. Oh, well. Oh, that's an Indianapolis guy retired. All right. I will go ahead and execute his option. I think he's good enough. Just as easily, I'm going to decline Lejeune Diacutis' option. You want me to keep Alek Manoah a bit longer. I guess that's something I could maybe do. My pitching coach retired. Ooh, we're getting an expansion team. Very exciting. I could pick, but I kind of think it's cooler to let the game decide. That's going to be very interesting, actually. That adds a lot of intrigue. Oh, they just canceled it because I fucked up. Whoopsie. Sorry, game. I didn't mean to do that. Man, I got all excited. I think I actually literally canceled expansion instead of... I just didn't want to not make a decision. Oh, well. Oh, well. Right. So this coming off season is going to be a big one because we need starters. I need to stop making excuses and just get a fucking starting pitcher. I really do. I can't keep hoping that the pitchers I've already got will stay healthy. I think that's just... It's just not reasonable to expect. And we have no money for new salaries, by the way. So we're definitely going to have to make some moves. Or just figure out some arbitration things here. Because we got some people demanding big money in arbitration. Very big money. Even at $7 million a year, I think Romo is a ripoff. I don't think he's good enough. Go and offer Brandon Anderson. Oh, I can't offer him a minor league. Yeah, because he was on a major league deal. That's fine. You can offer Luis Corrales a... There we go. Yeah, this is going to be a big off-season. So hopefully this time I remember to upload the video before I delete it. It's going to be a very big off-season because there's going to be a lot of change. And the only player here that an arbitration that I'm definitely going to bring back for certain is Tion. And Myers, because Myers just wants no money, and I'm willing to let him see if he can be better with a full year in Pittsburgh. He's not an amazing starting pitcher, to be honest with you, but he's one of the better pitchers on my roster, and that has to count for something. But yeah, we've got decisions to make. I've got to get better starting pitching. I know I already sound like a broken record, but it is undeniable. We must get better starting pitching. Because this let's make the playoffs and then get bounced out instantly is getting super old. Um, we shall see what happens, though. Do share your thoughts in the comments, especially about the should I play elimination games out, bearing in mind that it might result in me doing 2 episodes for one season instead of just one. Like, I don't think there's much I could have done to win that series once Gunnels got hurt. But maybe I could have. I don't know. But yeah, do share your thoughts down below. And I'll definitely take those into consideration. But for now, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching. And I bid you good day.